I don't think enough Liberal Party politicians get the attention due to them for pushing crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theories in the public view. I think a lot of people don't notice that they do this because they use very soft, politically correct language and they have a lot of mainstream media allies. But when you see Liberal MPs like Ryan Turnbull here posting this stuff on social media, it's crazy nobody else is really noticing what this guy's trying to say. So Ryan Turnbull posted this cartoon on X yesterday, but it's more of the header that he gave to this post that was really crazy. He said, hashtag no plan Pierre would make pollution free again and let the planet burn. He doesn't care about climate change or our children and grandchildren's future as long as his corporate buddies can continue to profit. And then he adds hashtag Pierre doesn't care. And then CD and Polly. It's like, oh, okay, Ryan, who's behind the curtain in your mind when it comes to Pierre Poilievre's anti-carbon tax plans? And remember, this is all happening because Pierre Poilievre disagrees with the carbon tax, that he wants the planet to burn. And not only does he want the planet to burn, which is already crazy enough to accuse your political opponent of wanting to do, it's like he might as well just say he's going to kill you all if he gets into office. If Pierre Poilievre becomes the prime minister, he's going to start executing his enemies. It's like the type of rhetoric I usually see out of the US media when they're really trying to create a fake buzz around something. But with this, it's like not only does Pierre Poilievre want the planet to burn, it's because he has corporate buddies. Well, what is he getting out of this? Because it seems like you're indicating that he is somehow in league with some corporate entity trying to get rid of the carbon tax to then burn down the planet, to destroy the planet. The idea, the unmitigated gall to even suggest that the carbon tax is doing anything for the climate is already crazy enough. But then there's the idea that this was the only thing holding us back from climate change. And Pierre Poilievre deliberately wants to remove this like stopgap against the planet burning because he has corporate friends who I'm assuming Ryan Turnbull is suggesting he is like illegally taking bribes from to do this. Like, what is Ryan actually trying to get at here? And this is where so many mainstream media sources would never call him on this because Ryan Turnbull and all the other Liberal MPs have the right set of values. They agree with the mainstream media enough on enough different issues that they would never press the issue and saying, well, how is he burning down the planet? Well, what do you mean by corporate buddies? Well, he has corporate donors. He has rich people who donate to him. Well, in Canada, you can only donate $1,750, I believe, in the year 2024. So I don't know what Ryan Turnbull is getting at, what Pierre Poilievre is bending over backwards to get $1,700 from a few corporate donors. There's a lot of middle class people who max out donations. That's the thing about Canadian politics. There's actually not that much money in Canadian politics. Like an entire federal election in Canada has the budget of like an Illinois governor's race. The entire federal election for the second biggest country on the planet probably has less spending than a singular state's gubernatorial election. And it's because there's just not that much you can actually donate in Canada. So all of the campaigns are run on volunteers and shoestring budgets. So Ryan is effectively suggesting that there is some massive payout going on that we just don't know about. And we've seen this before as well with Mark Gerritsen and people like Press Progress pushing this idea that like Pierre Poilievre wants to end the Liberals' housing plan, which the Liberals are ending anyways. They're rolling out a new plan in 2024. They've already effectively admitted that this plan's failed. And it did fail because we literally had housing starts since 2020 start falling because there's nothing in their plan right now actually incentivizing house building. And it's not like something, well, it's going to take 5-6 years to turn around. Like, no, if you're giving people money to build more houses and they're not building more houses right away, that's usually pointing to a more fundamental problem of the market. Also, we have crazy high immigration that deeply needs to be cut. But the thing that Mark Gerritsen and Press Progress will push is that Pierre Poilievre only opposes the Liberals' like housing plan, and it's because he himself is a landlord and is in cahoots with other developers trying to stop the very nice, sweet liberal plan to make everyone have 10 houses and like, you know, ride off into sunsets like riding on their white horse. Like, no, maybe it's like, yes, Pierre Poilievre does actually own a stake in, like, I think apartment buildings or something like that. I know the people that he owns the stake in with. Okay, if anything, Pierre Poilievre cutting immigration and doing a lot of this other stuff to try and deregulate the housing market on the municipal level, put pressure on municipalities to deregulate while also not ruining zoning like they're trying to do in Calgary and other cities right now, he would actually be hurting his own business. In fact, if he was selfish, he would ramp up taxes, and he would ramp up like a mass immigration to make sure that there was as much demand for the stake of housing that he owns. But that's not what Pierre Poilievre's doing. So again, it's just a conspiracy theory. It is a conspiracy theory that Pierre Poilievre or some conservative is going to do something nasty and bad that the liberals can't even prove, and they're doing it on behalf of shadowy group of people that we cannot say. Yes, they use politically correct language so it doesn't sound like a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but it's a conspiracy theory all the same. They are still saying that somebody is basically doing something that they cannot prove for unseen people that you do not know. These people are actually kind of wackos. The Liberal Party, since the 90s, has become a party of like hippie progressives who believe that they, by taking over the corporate state and crushing everybody else, is stopping conservatives from getting into government and crushing people. I think this was actually mentioned on the Ben Shapiro show, talking about the conspiracy of society, that there is some conspiracy within society to harm other people. So now these big government leftists need to take over the Canadian government and rule it and make sure that they stomp down on other people that they believe are going to crush other people. So in this weird circular logic, they are getting into government to try and crush groups of people that they think are conspiring, but they're in fact conspiring to go after these people to stop them from burning the planet or, like, taking away people's housing and healthcare. Like every single election cycle, we always see the Liberal Party roll out advertising where the implication is that the Conservatives are going to push your grandmother down the stairs and take away her Social Security. It's never happened in the history of Canada that a Conservative's gotten in and just started slashing old age pensions and stuff like that. Literally never happened. And yet the mainstream media goes along with it, hook, line, and sinker, that this election is going to be the one where Conservatives just start harming young people and old people, and they're going to take away everyone's welfare benefits. They're going to start taking away CPP. They're going to just absolutely ruin all the benefit programs, even though obviously Conservatives are probably going to start off cutting worthless HR and administration. And obviously it's that actually the Liberals tend to care a lot about the people who work in administration, these useless jobs. And if anything, the Liberals are very beholden to government bureaucrats. So they bend over backwards to protect bureaucrats from actually being evaluated for the work that they do and having taxpayers determine whether these people are worth it or not. So they obscure the issue by saying, well, they're going to cut services you need. No, they're not. No, they're not. What has the Liberals added a lot more money to the passport offices around Canada to make sure we don't have those crazy lineups? No, like maybe they've solved it since the big crisis we had. But no, our healthcare systems around the country are always underfunded when it comes to the actual delivery because they've become top-down administrative heavy organizations. And this is something I even get mad at Conservatives for. In Alberta, the healthcare ministry, like healthcare minister Adrian Lagrange, just needs to come out and say, we're just slashing HR and administration. We can save money and invest every half dollar that we save into more actual frontline staff and beds. That's all Conservatives have to do, and they would be wildly popular. And all of this has happened because Liberals tend to actually, they know that bureaucrats, higher level government bureaucrats, are like a big voter block for them. So they end up funneling a lot of money into growing these areas of government. And that's the only conclusion I can be brought to on that, because that's the only that is the only, because these people don't do any work. That's the only conclusion I can possibly reach when I see all of these idiots being paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to push paper that nobody reads, and that they all vote Liberal every single election. Anyways, That should be it for me today, guys. My usual shameless plug. Wyatt Claypool, am running for the Calgary Signal Hill Conservative Party nomination. There's always thousands of you watching my videos, so I guarantee dozens of you live in this riding who are listening to this video right now. So if you do live in this riding, this is what the new boundaries will look like for Signal Hill. Buy a federal Conservative Party membership. Check out my website in the description below, wyattclaypool.com. And if you want to donate to the TNT Legal Fund, that would really help us out. We have this billionaire developer suing us for no reason. Turns out conservatives get attacked by developers even though we're supposedly in league with them. He's trying to sue us for defamation or something. 2 years into the case, he still hasn't actually proven any level of defamation. He's not submitted any evidence. It's very frustrating. What can you do? Well, we can fight it out in court, but it does cost us a lot of money. It's cost me over $26,000. So anything that you can donate takes the burden of cost off me, and I can start reinvesting more money into growing the National Telegraph. Anyways, that should be it for me today, guys. See you later.